So one of my favorite stories, this involved the Texas Rangers. It was called the 10-cent beer night. And the promoters had this bright idea in the 70s. They said, hey, what if we make beer 10 cents for the night? So, of course, a bunch of people showed up to the game. The issue here is there was no limit. So, like, the game didn't even finish. It's because people were running onto the field. There were fights everywhere. They had to literally just forfeit the game.
Yeah. So they didn't run out of beer even.
No, like, people were stealing bases and stuff.
Oh, my God. So they just got so drunk. They're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Boom,
Like,
get naked, run across the field.
And so funny enough, I actually met a guy that was at that game.
Ready? All right, we're going to have to clap together in unison. It helps with editing. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Third Wheel Podcast, guys. Welcome back. I'm joined this week by one of my closest friends that we've known each other for a very long time. This is Lucas. Say hi, Lucas.
Hello, everybody.
So it's not your first time podcasting. Tell me about the other experience, if you don't mind me asking.
Oh, yeah. So a couple years ago, I had a video that went pretty viral on TikTok. And so they kind of talked about my biracial background. And a couple different podcasts wanted to interview me, talking about my story and just my experiences growing up being biracial, essentially.
Cool. Yeah. Wow. How viral are we talking now? Because I need to figure out what you're doing.
Funny part is, this was about 4 years ago. Viral enough to where it was essentially overnight. Because, again, I just did this. It was essentially like a throwaway video. I was like, let me just try this. And so I did it, and I know. And so overnight, the video I got 50,000 followers overnight. It was the weirdest thing. But yeah, it was like, oh, okay. Well.
Dang, so you stared into the abyss, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
No. People on the internet can be pretty mean. So you just see some of the comments afterwards. Oh, wow, that was really mean. So it's like, I'm sure TikTok's monetization's probably gotten a little bit better.
Sure.
But, I was doing videos and had kind of I had content that was coming out, but overall the financial incentive I was getting from it was not even remotely worth just the amount put in, essentially. It was just like, okay, like, what's the point of this? I'm not doing dance videos. So just.
Yeah.
No, and and also you probably have some experience, like kind of like trying to negotiate people over promotions on there is a headache too. Because
I wish I had some experience with that.
You will. You will.
Just having you on here apparently is just gonna save the show.
No,
we're on our last rent bill. We're behind a little bit.
But I feel like. It's kind of everyone kind of has the help a brother out type of thing with promotions. Like, what if I give you this shirt? It's like, my man, we're not in high school anymore. You can't just give me a T-shirt for you. So
you got a T-shirt back then? That was nice.
I got a T-shirt. I got a couple of free T-shirts. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but,
so you're doing good on shirts. You don't need help with that.
No, I don't. Yeah, I can go give blood and get a free shirt. That's not
So I like to talk a little bit about how I meet the guests. If you don't mind. So we're not a religious podcast, but how I met you was kind of, it was very religious. I just got into college campus, 18 years old. This was so long ago, 12 years ago now. And I was like, the good Christian boy that I was like, Lord, I need some Christian friends. Like, I don't even know what I was asking for back then. But as soon as I said amen, you popped out of a building and was like, hey, you want to come hang out with us? And I was like, my guy.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've told you that before, but it was like instant. You showed up, and you got me connected with a lot of really good people, and also a lot of very annoying people. But you were the guy. You were the guy to go to back then, so that was a lot of fun. And also, we started at some point, because we started seeing movies together.
Yeah.
One of the big ones that really stuck with me was the Lego Movie. And I actually haven't seen it since we saw it, but that memory of just going to the movies with you has just stuck with me. And we started a blog shortly after that called the 2 Movie Bums .blogspot.com if you want to check it out, guys. How do you feel about that? Do you just like cringe at like anything you've written back then?
It's funny how that works. Like as you get older, you kind of go through a period where you cringe at your old self, and then I think now I'm at that stage where I look at that and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things you miss because you can't go back to that frame of mind in that stage of life.
Yeah.
And that part's sad. But holy cow, now I'm so grateful for it. It's like, oh, it's totally cringy. I'm reading some of our reviews, like, what the heck,
Yeah.
Like, but I loved it, It's just we reviewed some really awful movies, and it was fun, And I think that's definitely what I think we connected on was the first guy I talked to. I was like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about with movies, You just, and it's just, I think anybody that's into things like sports, movies, I don't know, plants. Like when you talk to just like a person that doesn't know what they're talking about, or just a novice, it's kind
You
of
can
like,
tell.
yeah, and just it gets annoying sometimes when people kind of overstep. I shouldn't say overstep their bounds, but oversteps kind of their depth.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice just getting to just talk to you because like, oh, this guy actually really loves this. This is really cool.
I remember when we first bonded over Seinfeld because they did it was a 2013 Super Bowl spot. And it was the one where Seinfeld and the guy that plays George, Jason Alexander, were just chilling at the restaurant. Yeah. And I forgot what's the actual restaurant called? I'm pretty sure you know.
Yeah, because Tom's Diner.
Okay,
Tom's
yeah,
Diner,
thank you.
There's a song about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're just chilling in there, and it's like 10 seconds of them just talking to each other. And I was like, hey, Seinfeld. You're like, how do you know what that is? And I was like, well, I'm 18 for sure, but my parents just watched the crap out of Seinfeld. So, and that's just another thing we bonded over. And then again, that we started that blog. And I tried to revisit that blog when Avatar 2 came out because I had a lot of stuff to say about it. I hated it personally.
Get in line.
Yeah. And then Facebook just would not let me share the blog anymore. They have a new policy against sharing blogs for some reason. And they flagged my account too.
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah, they gave me a whole strike for doing it.
Oh,
and
okay.
I didn't, so. But that blog actually, I look back on it fondly, and we did some good stuff with it. And we there were some that did pretty good view-wise,
Yeah,
It tells you who clicks on it, or how many at least, not who. But I was like, cool, this is good stuff, and we had fun. And it's still up if y'all want to go see, like, I'd say my Avatar 2 review is still there, and I think it's a lot better written than what I wrote like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So,
we sounded like edgy guys in our early 20s.
Yeah. Well, I was not early 20s. I was 19.
You were 19. You were a teenager. So.
Yeah. Man, those were the days, man. We had so much free time. Where I wrote a review every week. Sometimes the most I wrote was 3 in one weekend, and I saw The Giver. I saw Let's Be Cops.
Holy cow.
I can't remember what the third one was, and I was just like, this is my job,
Nice.
And I had so many people, but you say it's your job, but you're not getting paid, and I was like, well, thanks, buddy. How about hobby? I'll say hobby now, So we're monetized on Spotify. We're almost to $1 worth of ad revenue. So I was like, sweet. Once we cash it out, I can leave a tip somewhere at a coffee shop.
There you go.
So,
Tell them to keep the change.
Yeah. You can retire now, buddy. But so let's see. Do you want to talk a bit about the old college ministry we used to be in? Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Yeah, sure.
We don't have to name it because, but I know you got. Do you still have people from that college ministry still trying to hit you up for money? Because I do.
Yeah. I think they've just given up on me. I think I'm a lost cause to them. Okay. But yeah, no. Gosh. So you still got people hitting you up for money?
There's one guy I still pay for just because I've always liked him.
He's a good guy.
He was.
Well, I think that's the big deal there.
Yeah. But so I've canceled a few times and then come back and said, hey, I'm in a better spot to donate. I've done that a couple times. This last time I was like, hey, here I'm actually in a really good spot. I'm very blessed. I would like to partner with you, and this was a few years ago, and I've kept it going. But after that, I don't know what I said. I must have like told him I'm loaded or something because like 5 of those people that used to hang with him hit me up and were like, hey, how you been?
Oh
It's been
gosh.
including the guy that kicked me out of that ministry.
Yeah. Really? He
yeah.
did?
Yeah. And I was like, dude.
The audacity.
Yeah. And it's like, I never hated the guy, and it wasn't him. It was just his supervisors.
His higher-ups, yeah.
Told him like, hey, he's not really being productive. He needs to go. Fine, no hard feelings. But I was like, dude, like we're not like we're not friends. Where I'm gonna give you cash. So yeah, weird. But you don't have people hitting you up for that still.
No, yeah, I guess I've been out long enough now. But yeah, that was, man. Well, so yeah, because it's always interesting with how that works because, yeah, you'd get some people that kind of would vaguely know you.
Yeah.
Just through the grapevine, say, hey, that. And then also, I think it definitely, I don't know about you, but it definitely messed with relationships. Like my relationships and friendships with some of the people because there were some people I was really close to, and they would start asking for money, and then I would never hear from them. It was like, okay, man, like I thought we were good friends, and it wouldn't even talk to them. And then one of them, like when I actually canceled the payment, they were like, "Hey, man, where is this?" Like, bro, I haven't heard from you in like a couple of years. Like, it's so it's
they notice real quick when the money goes
when the money
money's gone.
stops.
Like, what? Hey, Lucas. Then they start auditing themselves, like, where is this guy's money? So yeah, what was it? I had a few people in college. This was a stretch for me at the time. I did not make enough money back then, and of course, who does at this point in our lives? But I was really stretching myself to give money to people. So now I got it more streamlined. But I guess what are we talking about? There's a college ministry. Well, I mean, do you care if I say the name? I don't think it's that big of a deal. So it's Chi Alpha College Ministry, and their structure. It's a very limited structure, and I'm not going to criticize it. Like they do what they do. They've been doing it for a while, and it's worked for the most part. But basically, there's a head guy in charge of the college ministry, and then is it resource leaders after that?
Essentially, yeah. After him.
So basically, they send out small group leaders to go meet college kids, bring them into a small group, meet with them weekly, and minister to them. And then if they find anybody really cool that they think, hey, this guy'd be a good small group leader, they try to get them through the class where they can be small group leaders, and each semester just go out and reach new people. And then the small group leaders have their own leader called a resource leader, if I'm doing this correctly. Yeah. And then those resource leaders teach the small group leaders, and they have their own weekly meetings. And then I believe resource leaders kind of report to the head college minister,
essentially.
More or less.
Now you described it
There
well.
could be a tier above that. I don't know. But you were a resource leader, too, at some point.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, for a couple of years.
Yeah. Okay. And how'd that go?
Oh, man, I hated it.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those things like I think I always like just interacting, just hanging out with people. And I don't like being, a micromanager, and you're just kind of like managing people and just talk. And, and I also think I was just so young and just dumb. It's like, I shouldn't have even been in that position.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, but yeah, that's what I did for a couple of years though.
My only main criticism is it's so limited in serving. So if you're not going to be a small group leader, there's really no room for you to I want to get plugged in, be a greeter. I want to get plugged in and work cameras. They had one camera going, so it's like whoever's in charge of camera, that's the guy. Yeah. They didn't have a full dedicated ministry to all these different departments. I'm not. It's a college ministry. It just it had one good function that it did. So I'm not criticizing it that hard. And back then, I wasn't really a very strong Christian. I didn't know how to study for myself what my relationship with the Lord meant. So essentially, at a certain point, I wasn't living for the Lord, and I wasn't doing small groups really. So they just said, "Hey, we need, you don't really fit into this type of ministry." So I got demoted back to just attendant of a small group, which I didn't take it too personally, and I still don't. I don't. I wasn't a good fit for that at the time. Now, if I were to go back, I'd do pretty good. I led a small group for about 5 years, from 25 or 24 years old to about 29. So it's going fine, and I'm working with youth now. But it was just such an interesting time. Nowadays, I have regular church hurt, where you just disagree with the guy in charge, and you just, they don't like you, and you got to make decisions like, is this the church I want to stay at? Yeah. I got stuff like that going on. I don't know if you've had any similar experiences or what.
I mean, yeah, I think that's just kind of definitely something with any, church, organization, even jobs. It's like, just learning just kind of like what's the focus here? What are the ideals? But yeah, no, of course I have. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's just an interesting time. That church ministry gets a lot of flack. There was one time the school newspaper, somebody wrote an article about them. But I don't ever try to be too harsh on them. They just have one function, and it does it well enough to where they're still kind of around. But you brought up a point, this was 5 years ago, but you still got people in their mid-20s that are just like, hey, you come into this Chi Alpha event? And you're like, dude, aren't we almost 30 now?
It's like, bro, man, come on, dude. Bro, come on, Peter Pan. It's just, and I get it. College was a really great time of life, and it was really fun. And I think sometimes it's really hard to let that part
Yeah.
go. And I get some people do have that passion and that calling that they feel they need. But it was kind of the point where it's like, okay, like, are you really growing doing this?
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of in your comfort zone? And I feel like that's what it was more so people just were afraid to leave their comfort zone. But yeah, you know, I mean, I get it.
Yeah, and I don't know. At a certain point, I'm like, you got to get a job because, like I said, those people still coming out trying to get support raising. I'm like, okay, so, I mean, they don't let you work at this stage in your life. You're like almost 30. Like they won't let you get at least a part-time job or something. Like, no, I have to be full-time committed to the ministry. Then why aren't they? You know, I think they should pay you at that point. Personally,
Subsidize something. You know,
But no, they still want $100 a month from you minimum. I had. You know, nothing against the guy I support raise, but as you know, he was like, "Hey, we just got promoted, and we're at this new ministry position here. We were asking for more money." I was like, "Why aren't they paying you if you're head of this part of the organization? Why aren't they helping you out? You know, why is it on us, the guy who works?" Like, I make good money now, but I'm not like, you know, money still doesn't grow on trees for me. It was like, yes, here, I'll just pull another fruit and mail it to you. That's not how it works for me. I'm sorry, you know. So I don't know. At a certain point, it does get kind of sad.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Personally, you know.
No.
So I'm like, get a job, man. But I don't know. But it was a good time, and we're doing great now. I'm very happy with my life. You're doing great too. This is a nice place, dude.
Thank you.
Lots of abstract art.
Thank my wife for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that Cajun man. That's so cool. Well, Lucas, why did I get you on today? I asked you to do just put together a couple stories for me. What's the one? It's a guy's named Bartman.
Holy cow! Yeah. With the Chicago Cubs. It's funny actually. I'm actually wearing a kind of a Cubs shirt right now with the famous Harry Carey. Did you ever watch the SNL sketches?
Not that one.
With Will Ferrell.
I saw the cowbell one. Okay, that's the only one I've seen.
Ever go on YouTube? Look up Jeff Goldblum with Harry Carey, and it's funny because you know. Yeah. Anyways, really funny. But yeah, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, Bartman. Yeah, that was what was that? That was Cubs were like about to. This was when the curse was still ongoing for them, curse of the Billy Goat, and yeah, essentially because I know he was listening to the game on radio while you know they were playing, and so you know there's obviously like a little delay.
Yeah.
And so someone hits a foul ball. I think was it Moises Alou. Like one of the Cubs players was going for it, and I think that was going to be pivotal out, and the guy interferes and gets in the way, and of course he drops the ball. You know, the Cubs.
Wait, he didn't even catch it?
No, he didn't. No, I don't think the guy caught it. Actually, I need to look at the replay. But you know, so you know, of course, the player's yelling at. Yeah, poor guy. You know, like I'm sure, like if you're a sports fan or a fan of anything, and like your idols are like you know, or people you look up to, kind of like lambasting you, like you know, this guy had to go into hiding. Like no one even knows what he's doing or where he is now. I'm sure he had to change his name.
So his name was, what was the first name?
Steve Bartman.
Steve Bartman. He interfered with the foul ball. What he thought was a foul ball, but it looked like the guy could have still caught it. And, and it ruined the whole game, essentially. Or so they think.
So they think. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, the Cubs still should have won that game, but that was a very pivotal out that would have kind of helped them. But yeah, you know, after that was kind of just, you know, like opening Pandora's box. After that, just kind of like everything unraveled for them. Because I remember I was watching that game as a kid, and I went to bed that night thinking, okay, I guess the Cubs are going to the World Series for the first time in almost 80 years at the time. And then they're going to the World Series, not even winning it. And then, but yeah, it was like, oh, I woke up and I was like, whoa, what in the world?
Yeah. Did they go or no? They didn't go.
No, they didn't. Yeah, they lost that game.
No, that guy got screwed.
Yeah, poor guy, man.
Yeah, you know, he got a score. I Wikipedia'd that because you know, people give crap to Wikipedia a lot, but it does a good summary. As best they can. I know anyone can edit it, and suddenly all of a sudden, Steve Bartman's on the Guinness World Records for the world's biggest penis.
Yeah,
but you know, but
I heard that.
Yeah, but Wikipedia, you can. It's good at summarizing an event, and so yeah, he caught the. Now I don't even remember if he caught it or not, but he interfered with a foul ball. What he thought was just cool, here it comes.
Yeah.
And booze and popcorn and beer thrown at him, man. And they had to escort him out. And he declined interviews. Yeah. He declined sponsorships.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what those commercials would have been like.
Holy cow.
Yeah. Where and he like I said, probably changed his name. Well, maybe not though, because Didn't the Cubs eventually win?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they did. Was it 2016?
Yeah.
And they actually gave him
Yeah.
a World Series ring, and he was thankful for it and everything. But dude still did not come out
Yeah.
of hiding or anything. And I get it. Like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
holy cow, man.
Me, I probably would have taken the deal. We'll give you $50K if you'll catch a foul ball in our commercial. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, death threats. You know what? You got yourself a deal.
Water under the bridge, man.
Yeah.
No, geez. It's just the way people can get about things, fandoms, I mean, sports, just movies, things, but just people can get rabid, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy, man. But hope he's in a better place now.
Now, there was a controversy. I didn't ask you to look this up, so if you know anything about it, that's fine. But there was something where players were intentionally throwing games to win
Holy
gambling bets. Do you
cow.
know anything about that?
Yeah, dude, I feel like,
What was
man,
that called? There was a whole event where
Yeah.
it caught a bunch of people.
Yeah, they had a name for it, but like, man, dude, I feel like we're like back in like the roaring 20s, with all the clothing, because did you hear like the mafia was involved?
Yes.
Like it's like, whoa, man. And then like I was seeing something about like transparent glasses they were used. Like, man, yeah, because it's just interesting because some of these guys, like, I guess gambling addiction just that bad. Because some of these guys, like Chauncey Billups was the coach, the Portland Trailblazers, one of the main name at that scandal. Like this guy, like had won an NBA championship. He had he's a legend already. And it's just like, why? Like, what was the point of that? I just
Yeah, he had the money, but like you said, it had to have been the gambling addiction part.
addiction. Yeah,
Because it wasn't for money. I mean, of course it was, but like, how much? I don't know. Is it just how much is enough, or is it just the fact of like, I can affect the outcome of a gamble or a wager, that he's just addicted to? I have no clue.
I don't know. I wish I knew what the overall what's the word? The gravity of the charges they're going to get levied against them. It's just crazy. I didn't even know the mob was still relevant, to be honest, enough to even do something like that, to have a sting operation like that. But yeah, geez, man. There was a couple NBA players involved in that, and just just completely tarnishing, your legacy doing something like that. And I just don't get the point of that,
Yeah, I agree. Well, especially if you're the NBA player, they make so much money.
Oh my
so
gosh.
much more than you'll ever need in your lifetime.
Oh, it's incredible. You look at NFL players, these guys are putting their brains and bodies on the line. And then you look at NBA and it's like, whoa, that's the way better route, at least if you're over 6'5". Yeah. Because geez, that's all you got to do. You just got to be over 6'5" at least. But
I was never inclined. I've always been vertically challenged.
But yeah, I mean, geez, what a story with that. I just can't believe that.
Yeah, because you're a sports guy, so you actually do at least kind of keep up with that for the most part. So, but yeah, I asked you to look up a few things, and you listed off some stuff that you wouldn't mind you researching. So, what was one of them you looked up?
So one of my favorite stories, and I'm sure most of your listeners are probably in the DFW area, I would assume. So this involved the Texas Rangers. It was called the 10-cent beer night. And, I'm a person, I love to partake in beer sometimes, but sorry. But
Get out. It's your house. Leave.
But yeah, so this thing, actually, they were playing at the time the Cleveland Indians, now the Guardians, and the promoters had this bright idea in the 70s. They said, hey, what if we make beer 10 cents for the night? So, of course, a bunch of people showed up to the game.
Or mug or whatever, 12 ounces,
but
whole
the
beers.
issue here is there was no limit. You go to places, most baseball games, they usually stop concessions after I think the 7th inning.
Sure.
And, because they don't want people just battering over themselves. So, so they gave 10 cents. I mean, and it went literally how you would have expected it to go.
Lines looping around the bathroom.
Lines.
Yeah.
That's how it should have gone.
I don't know what I'm talking about. What is a sport? I've never been to a game.
Yeah, go sports ball. But yeah, and so the game didn't even finish. The game did not even finish because people were running onto the field. There were fights everywhere. They had to literally just forfeit the game.
Yeah. So they didn't run out of beer even.
No, people were stealing bases and stuff. Oh
my God. So they just got so drunk that you know what?
Yeah.
Boom, get naked, run across the field.
It just turned into Las Vegas overnight, and just people were just going nuts. And so one of those things that you're just kind of who thought this was a bright idea? You just think about that with marketing nowadays. and just in any sphere. And somehow people will still make these mistakes where you don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
And so funny enough, I actually met a guy that was at that game.
You really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, because I was remarking to a woman one time when I was sitting somewhere, he was wearing a shirt about the 10-cent beer night. And she's like, yeah, I think he was actually there. And then so I talked to her, I was like, yeah, that was a good time. I was like, yeah.
I spent 50 cents that night.
Who knows what $1 would have done?
Yeah. I stole third base.
Yeah. But like, yeah, just crazy, man. Like just wild stuff that they did.
So I'm kind of curious. So what'd you ask him? Because I want to know, like, did you just go, how'd it go? Or I want to know, like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so did you steal anything? Like, did the guy next to you take something you weren't supposed to take? Like, what did you get any good info out of him?
Yeah, I mean, you could just immediately when I start talking to him, a big smile goes on the guy's face. So obviously he looked back with very positive feelings. I'm sure the teams didn't, but
No. How long ago was this again?
gosh, I'm pretty sure. I know it was in like the 70s because the Rangers became
Yeah.
a team like the 70s. So yeah, it was in like I think late
Okay.
70s, like
Because I
mid to late
was just saying,
70s.
10 cents a beer, that's still, they could sell that.
But
That-
yeah, but
they
even
could
like
do
for
that kind of price.
inflation, what you're thinking, that's what, like 75 cents $1 beer? Like that'd be
a lot of beer.
That'd be insane to do that at a place. Like it's just like, what is wrong with it? But I don't know. Crazy they even had that idea.
I should have asked you to look at marketing blunders too, but
Oh yeah. Well, so funny enough, if I didn't want to go off on a segue, but
Go
can
ahead.
I mention another marketing blunder?
Please.
So my brother, he also was
love
kind
your brother, good guy.
of he's an interesting cat. But yeah, so he mentioned there was this marketing agency actually, ironically, funny enough, their name was called Strange Fruit. And some of y'all may not know
I like
this.
where this is going.
This is holy cow. This should go in like the Hall of Fame of blunders. So like it was like I think it was a PR marketing agency. Strange Fruit is the name of it. I think it was a Billie Holiday song involving like racial like crimes, like lynching and stuff, like sad stuff. It's like, who thought this was a good idea? And so my brother actually even talked to these people before.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, kind of like the whole background with like that phrase. You think it's a good name idea? Like especially for your type of business? Like, no, it's fine. The people like essentially got canceled. They had to kind of
Yeah.
like I don't even know if they're even still around. I know they had to at least rebrand.
They
it was
had
just
to at
like,
least change the name.
yeah, because when it came out, and of course people that knew, and they're like, hey, yeah, so it's just not one of those things where it's like in that business of all, you kind of got to know the optics of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But like what? It just holy cow.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, well, I don't want to get too much into this, but the whole Bud Light is still trying to recover from their last blunder a couple years ago in the summertime.
Yeah.
And Cracker Barrel is struggling right now with because they tried to change the logo. You're familiar with that?
Yeah. They gentrified themselves there. Yeah, like that. Yeah, what a man. Because I get it. Like a lot of restaurants nowadays,
Just want to change the logo.
well, they're trying to just like figure out, like how can we appeal to new consumers and stuff. And that's just such a frustrating thing because it's like you get it. Like you're wanting to branch out from your customer base, but like come on, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why though? Because like, are they just struggling? Because they
I
put,
don't think they are.
I don't think so either. Like they put a lot of money into taking the guy off the Cracker Barrel logo, so they got enough money to spend changing their logo. So it's like they should be doing fine. But you just get these new CEOs that come in and say, I want to do something different. No reason at all. I just like, I'm here. I'm overpaid.
Yeah.
I really want to do something to shake things up, and then all their stocks go down.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, sorry to keep going on this, but like I was reading last night about Snapple. Like I didn't realize Snapple. Like
Didn't know this either.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Tell
probably
me.
one of the again Hall of Fame of just dumb marketing blunders. So like Snapple apparently really big like New York City thing. Like it was sold in like bodegas, convenience stores. Like very much they had like a great independent like retail chain of just good like mom and pop stores they went to. So Quaker Oats comes in like, hey, like we're gonna give you like so $1.7 billion. They bought them. Obviously, nobody's gonna say no to that, especially like in the 90s.
This show is for sale. Quaker Oats, by the way.
So they buy it, which by the way, Snapple, they need to bring back their glass bottles. Anyway, so they buy it for $1.7 billion. And then they get the bright idea of, hey, everything that made this brand work, let's not do that.
Yeah.
And so they fire their spokesperson. It was like the sweet lady that would read like letters from people and like they fired her because they thought, get this, her $100,000 a year salary was too much after spending $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
It's like,
You're overpaid. Grandma,
yeah,
hit the road.
exactly. And
Hold
then
on, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We got to pause it. So, oops. We got to reset the cameras every 30 minutes. We got to clap one more time. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. It took Ronnie like 5 times to do that. By the way.
Really?
Yeah. Audience will know because those episodes come out tomorrow. So anyway, continue.
Yeah, so
Snapple.
so they fired like their beloved spokesperson, a woman who had like worked for the company. So they did, and then for some reason, these bright people decided we're going to market Snapple like we do Gatorade because they essentially owned Gatorade at the time. They were like, yeah, we're going to market it like that. And it's like, what? And so of course sales imploded. Oh yeah, and then they went to like big box chains essentially to sell their product.
Yeah.
And it was just like, so of course sales plummeted.
Yeah.
And then like a bunch of other companies, I don't know if you remember this, I might be aging myself here. Do you remember, I think it was a Coca-Cola drink, it was called Fruitopia?
I don't remember this.
Yeah. So those that are probably in their mid-30s or older remember this, Fruitopia. And so other companies, I think, someone else that owned Lipton Iced Tea, I think Pepsi, they started building up market share. And they were like, dude, we're screwing this up. Mm-hmm. And so they essentially just like offloaded it. Well, no, then they tried to make face. They tried to hire back the lady. All that didn't work. So like it was like a few years.
Wait. So Snapple hired back the old lady.
They hired back the old lady.
She said yes, of course.
She said yes, obviously.
Did she make? Do you know if she made any demands? Like, hey, I actually want 110 now. And they're like, oh God, you're asking a high price. We can't do that.
put us in the poorhouse.
Yeah.
No. And so only like a few years later, like they realized like just how dumb it was. Because they tried to run it something that was good like how they did, and they tried to run it like they did another product. They tried to Gatorade it, essentially. And they sold it for like, I think, $300 million. So essentially they took like a $1.4 billion loss.
Yeah.
Because they thought they were smarter than they really were.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Snapple, like the sugary that does nothing for you athletically drink. They're like, yeah. You want a Snapple on the football field? Sorry, dropped it. But like, imagine they're pouring it on themselves like they do the Gatorade.
Yeah,
it's just sugar.
Such an odd thing.
Yeah, because Snapple is like really bad for you. It gives me heartburn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's not good for you. So like, I can't imagine drinking that thinking it's restoring electrolytes. It's giving me type 2 every sip.
Maybe they were just thinking, like the green tea, that's what it's got antioxidants or something. I don't know, but
whatever.
Just a terrible idea. It was like, I don't know who thought but anyways, yeah. So that when you're thinking just like terrible marketing blunders, like that's just like one of the perfect ones. And I just don't get that about companies. You'll have like this brand, everything that makes it great, and they're just like, what if we do this? What if we make this thing that's cool? What if we make it not cool?
Yeah.
Like I just like
and like I don't get. Companies hate old people, I swear. Because like I don't even know who the Crackle Barrel guy is, but they're like, that guy, that old geezer, get him off. And then someone takes an eraser and just like a chalkboard and wipes them off. And then same thing, like Snapple, this sweet old lady, kick her to the road. I don't get that. Companies hate old people.
But I get it. I get it. I don't agree with it.
Sure.
They're always wanting to increase profits. They're always wanting to do it. But you also got to realize there's a ceiling in some ways. Like. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's that big of a market of people wanting chicken fried steaks, that in Brooklyn. But I just like
when you say it like that, it makes sense. Yeah. So okay, sports. Back to sports now.
Sorry,
that was a good detour. I like that marketing. I could have said, hey, look at more marketing blunders because you're good at finding these little nook and cranny stories. So yeah, so Steve Bartman, that was a funny one. 10 cents beer disaster. On paper, they were like, "This is a great idea, but this is going to kill it." And it did something, just not what they expected.
No, pretty much. It's terrible. Mm-hmm. So this one, it's a little dark, but I'm assuming you also have some soccer fans that listen. So many people don't know this. I want you to guess where. So the most attended World Cup. Soccer, okay. Most attended World Cup
football
in history. Where do you think it was?
Brazil.
Attended. The United States.
Oh.
Yeah, many people don't know that. So 1994 World Cup, the U.S. hosted. It's obviously we have like gigantic coliseums here. So it was the most attended World Cup in terms of people.
Okay.
It seems. So at this one, the U.S., imagine like soccer now. Imagine like how much, I hate to say it, it's like hard for it to even like be considered a main sport for a lot of people. I love it.
Yeah.
But imagine 30 plus years ago how people like, nobody cared. And so they somehow got it and they're playing Colombia in a game,
The U.S.
Yeah,
going
the
against
US.
Colombia.
Pretty big game.
Yeah.
They're,
They're getting destroyed, I bet.
no, actually.
Really?
So this was a surprising result because the U.S. somehow actually got out of the first round. But so they're playing Colombia, and the guy they're playing against, I got to find his name because I'm gonna mess it up. But
Yeah, go ahead. No problem.
okay,
Yeah. A
But-
little bit of dead air never hurt nobody.
yeah,
I can do some cuts.
his name is Mr. Escobar. Oh, Escobar's probably not the best one.
Pablo?
Oh yeah, Andres Escobar. But yeah, Colombian national team. This guy. So the U.S. It was 0-0. He essentially had an inadvertent own goal. He knocked it into his team's nets, gave the U.S. a 1-0 lead. So Colombia ends up getting eliminated. A few days later, the man was killed in Colombia.
The guy that kicked the ball.
The guy that actually did the own goal.
Oh,
Like, what in the world?
yeah.
And so, yeah,
So Colombia does not play.
they did not play. Like, what in the world? Like, this poor guy, like,
Yeah.
just made a mistake. And it's just like, it's like, yeah, it's like craziest story. Like,
Well, now I take a Colombia roast. I'm like, I got to drink this with caution.
Drink
care,
it
and
with
love.
caution.
There's some guy in the window.
don't spit it out.
Did you spill a drop?
But no, yeah, just
Yeah.
like Will Stinger's just like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, people take sports so seriously, and there are crazy people in in any industry, in anything that can be considered competitive. At least, you see kids break their controllers over Call of Duty, or tournaments. People just going insane and punching the other guy, and it's anything competitive. People just lose their mind, So
yeah,
it's a real thing.
and it's just places, like that. You hear about hooligans in England, and it's just like people, man, they have their sports and then just fandoms in general where
Yeah.
they can just, whew, man, it's rabid, like and poor guy though, man, rest in peace. That's
Yeah.
really sad. But yeah, Jesus, it's like what an insane thing to hear about with that. But maybe I should go on to another subject because, geez, whew,
I need like 10 minutes.
I was like, man.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but like it is interesting kind of thinking about that with sports though, because of just kind of like, I mean, I'm sure anybody listening can just like, how like, isn't it crazy? Like the last like 5 years, even like how crazy like gambling has gotten. Like it's like everywhere. Like you turn on like there's ads all the time. You get what is it? The Kalshi bet things.
Yeah, what's those apps? I have one called Polymarket where
Yeah.
you can like it's simple. They found some way around gambling laws.
Yeah.
So you can just like, do you think this is going to happen? Yes or no?
Yeah.
And like, I'm going to put some money down here on this next election without going into politics too
Yeah.
much on the
No,
show.
yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I was like, this looks kind of predictable now at
Yeah.
this point,
Yeah.
And it's like, I might put some money down on this, I wish I put money down on the last election. I wouldn't have predicted all 7 swing states, but I could have predicted 5.
Yeah.
That would have done pretty good. And now with this one, I'm like, I got this. I could probably put some serious zeros down and be like, I'm gonna win this one.
I mean, holy cow! Like, yeah, it's just like it was. So it's funny actually because we were talking about the whole Chauncey Bills, the whole NBA gambling thing.
Sure.
It was funny. Ironically, ESPN was talking about it. While they're talking about it, at the bottom, there's a logo of ESPN Bet. They quietly take it off. And it's just like, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. Do you gamble at all? Do you do any?
Nah,
gambling?
because I it's one of those things for me. I know it's like the house always wins.
Sure.
And it's just like, I know my own limits. It's like, no, I'm probably going to get addicted if I get into that. So I don't even try it.
For sure. So you never been to a casino at all?
I've been to a casino and I've just chilled out, but it's like, I guess I shouldn't say it. So I have gambled. I'm sorry, I thought we were still on sports gambling. So I have like, I've done like a slot, like a penny slot where it's like, okay, I would throw in $1. And I was always like, okay, the most I'm going to spend while I'm here is like
$20.
Yeah, $20. And it's like, Okay. If I lose money, it's like, okay, whatever. I'm not. No.
That's a lot of people. That's
Yeah.
a lot of people that can do that. My limit's like 200.
Good on you.
Because I have one before, and let me tell you, you think you can do it every time. It really does do something in your head. It's like they hit once, it'll do it again. Because like I've won the most I've won. I know some people have won 10K, which is great, but I've done. There was a time where every time I went, I was winning 2K off of $200.
Good on you.
And I was like, I might quit my job at this point. Like I think I could just do this every week, but then your luck runs out. But you still, in my mind, I'm still sometimes when I go, I don't go that much, but when I do, I'm like, I could do this again.
Yeah.
You know, like here's my strategy. It's working, but you know, my luck ran out. I don't do that. I can't do that anymore. I don't know what was going on back then, but I was on a hot streak.
Good on you.
That was fun. But yeah, I would totally get addicted, and I'm worried with the poly market. You know, there's some stuff I'm pretty sure is a safe bet, but you know, you can't put up more than you're willing to lose. So for me, I have to start putting money aside now to save for those bigger bets. And I'm like, you know, let's do that. That sounds fun, but it's something I got to save up for. And like, okay, am I okay with losing this money potentially?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I think I am. You know, so. Yeah, talking about gambling, man, that's a slippery slope for sure. But I understand the chemistry, what it does to your brain a little bit. I couldn't explain it to you, but I feel it. I felt that urge of like, wow.
Oh,
it
yeah.
just
When
keeps
you get
hitting.
that big win, you're just like, holy
That
cow.
keep-
No,
like I can do that again. That wasn't that hard. That was easy. You know? So really bad at blackjack.
hey, good on you. I don't even try that. They would swindle me.
Yeah.
But so like, what do you mean? So you've done blackjack before?
Yeah. I'm good at the game, but like sometimes the cards just don't come out in your favor. You know, you can't predict what you're gonna get. I've gotten a little bit into card counting. It's frowned upon, but it's not quite. You know, it's not quite. They kick you out over it, but you can just kind of look at what cards are there and like, okay, you know, we're due for a bigger card, so I'm gonna stay. You know, you can kind of do that without getting in trouble, but you know, it's fun. I've also kind of gotten into roulette. No, craps. I'm sorry, craps. Craps is so much fun. But yeah, I don't know, because like you'll do really good for 10 dice rolls, and then you take one big hit, and then you just lost all your progress. You know.
So I'm gonna sound like a 5-year-old and speak to me. So every time I hear craps, I just think of poop.
Sure.
So what exactly is craps?
You put money. You roll 2 dice. Somebody rolls 2 dice.
Oh,
and it goes
it's
in a
that
circle.
game. That's
Yeah.
what that
Yep.
is.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Do you know how it works?
Yes, I do. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I've always seen
I'll
that.
explain it anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a fun game. If the person rolling rolls a 7, everybody loses. But you put money on. Okay, he's going to roll a 9. It's 2 dice. So what's the highest you can get? 12. So like, oh, I'm gonna put some money on him rolling a 9, some money on him rolling a 12, and you just keep putting money. But 7, if you know. If they roll a 7, everyone's money's lost and it goes to the house. So that's what you do. You just keep betting, like don't roll 7, and that could be 2 and a 5. That could be 4 and a 3. That could be whatever. 6 and a 1. So yeah, you're just betting on any number besides 7. 7, everybody loses. And you could do really good on that, like no sevens, no sevens, no sevens, and then that 1 7, depending on how much you put on the other numbers, all gone, and you just lose all your progress.
Wow.
But it's addicting, dude.
So that's why they always show the people in the movies are like all cheering, like
the girl blows on Robert Downey Jr.'s hand, and he's like, ah.
Yeah, that makes so much. Okay,
That's it. It's fun, man. I'm telling you. Like, if I showed you how to play, and like I said, I explained it like decently enough. But like,
you did.
when you're there, dude, and you're just like everyone.
Oh, the crowd.
Because the dice rotates per player, so at some point you're the one rolling. And if you roll not a 7, people start clapping and cheering for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, you start getting that high.
Yeah.
And then your money goes up with your streak. So if you go like a 20 roll streak without hitting a 7, like people are like, yeah, come here.
Yeah.
And then just like in the movies, the waitress comes by and like gets close to you and is like, good job, And then you start getting your confidence. You're like this fat 30-year-old dude, like, come on, lady, blow on it, It's addicting. It's not even just a money thing too. It's a, people start just giving you that dopamine hit of like they like you. Everyone here at this table likes me. The dealer pretends to sweat a little bit, like, oh man, he's cleaning us out, and it's a whole thing.
They got a whole production.
Whole thing. I don't know if you know this about casinos. So if you don't notice, all the lights and stuff are eye view, and you can see all the stuff flashing and all the machines. There's actually not a lot going on down below, so you're not looking down. And then up top, it's just like black and lights and like bars looking like this, looking around. So your eyes are just always in front of you, to the side. Like, what's that machine doing? What's that machine? They don't do it. There's no lights or anything up top, really. Like, there's light bulbs, but like it's not that you're not going to be looking up at light bulbs. And I'm told they pump oxygen into the room, so you're just always awake. Like, they got stuff for you to drink, like sodas and coffee and stuff like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but like you're awake. For some reason, like you just get that boost of energy in the casino.
That actually makes
sense.
sense.
And they're pumping, that's what I'm told, they're pumping oxygen in the room to like, you're up, you know? And then, like I said, up and down, there's nothing going on. There's no lights. There's nothing pretty. The rug's ugly. So
Yes,
when
it
you're
is.
walking, you're not
I do
looking
know
at your
that.
feet.
The times I
but
have
you're
looked
looking
down.
all over at just like the flashing lights. You're looking at the person that has a weird ritual of like, I don't know if you've been to the casino enough. You see people with the machine.
A couple times for birthdays, but yeah.
They're doing this whole thing before they cha-ching, and then they
Yeah.
lose money. Or some people, the thing starts flashing, and then you hear someone go, yeah, they just loaned $20 or something. They get all excited. But then you just like, you're just looking at all the different things. It's psychological.
Yeah.
They mess with you. They want you to spend your money.
Yeah.
So it's good to walk in those environments with a mindset of like, I'm going to only spend 20,
No,
200.
totally.
If you're doing really good in your life, my limit's 1,000. If you're just really good at that. They got a high roller room that I probably will never enter, but I would love to save like $1,000 or $2,000 and just go on in there and just see how it goes. With the slot machines, I was doing $1.50 bets. I'd put $100 in the machine, and I would just pull it, and I would just keep pulling it, and eventually it would hit, and I'd get like $500, $600.
Good on you.
And I was like, well, that's not too bad. Just $1.50 bet, put $100 in, and just keep rolling it.
Yeah.
You don't even have to stop it on your own. And that worked for a while. For a while, it was like like I said, I walk out with $2K. And I could do that once a week for about like 6 months. I was like, I might just quit my job, bro. Just open my own 401k. And
I mean, yeah, if you kept it that rate, yeah.
yeah, but no. At a certain point, your money does run out, and that your luck stops. And I personally think they do stuff to the machines.
Oh, totally.
Like one time, it was paying out, and then this guy saw me like, yeah. So then I quit cheering out loud. At a certain point, but this guy, he walked up and went to a machine like to the left of me, stuck his card in, pulled it out, and then all of a sudden it stopped paying out. I was
course
like,
it
these
did.
people,
Oh,
I don't know
dude.
what they do. Maybe it's a conspiracy, but
Wasn't it? Yeah, because there was that one story. I don't know if you heard where that woman, didn't she win like a big jackpot and they basically screwed her out of it? Like, oh, it was a malfunction or something.
sure. I'm sure that happens.
No,
I'm
totally.
not quite sure what you're talking about, but that would not surprise me because they make so much money off of broke people.
Oh, they do.
Because I'm broke, like everybody else. But that's where they make their money off of. People go in. I know people that pull money out to go to the casino and hoping they'll just pay it back when they win. And that's where they make their money off of. So it's like, oh, we got to hold this 175K jackpot from you because of a malfunction. Like, you could easily have paid that out and you wouldn't have lost a wink of sleep over it.
Nope.
They have to generate millions and millions of dollars a day or a week. I don't know how much it is, but a lot. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're even paying taxes on that stuff, but it can't be a lot based on how much they're making. So
No.
exactly. But that's my gambling tangent. Sorry.
Hey, I mean, it's very relevant right now, especially because I know, was it because the Adelsons, I think they're the ones, who own, Adelson, who owns the Mavericks now. Like, I know they're trying to get that whole stadium deal. And, like, I know right now at the state level here in Texas, they're trying to get, like, some gaming things passed.
Yeah.
So dude, man, it's, like, really, like, just shot up recently. It's like, it's been, like, holy cow. Like, it's just...
Are you into hockey that much?
Yeah. I've gotten much more into it recently. I know how much people love their Dallas Stars, but I grew up loving watching Mike Modano and Brett Hull. That was actually one of my favorite memories, was when the Dallas Stars won their first Stanley Cup when I was a kid. That was really cool. But, no.
The Stars are they have a good track record of winning games. And then you are a Cowboys fan, correct?
Sadly, it's one of those things like, geez, man.
I
Like,
don't watch football enough to like actually have it, but
That's good.
I do know they lose.
yeah,
So,
they always find a way to get your hopes up,
Yeah.
and then just like completely dash them every time. Like, it's funny. My first sports memory actually was the Dallas Cowboys winning their last Super Bowl, and it was like it's been all downhill from there. Like, it just
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
So as we circle back around, like the The Rangers have won another World Series since we were kids. Like, I don't know how old you were when they won. I think it was 2011 or 2012. Which one
So
did they
yeah,
win?
so they went those 2 times.
Yeah.
And that was, man, that was heartbreaking. Because I know the World Series just ended yesterday, and the Blue Jays were like this close from winning it because the guy's foot was almost at home plate. The Rangers were a strike away 2 different times, and just got completely just embarrassed. Like, yeah, but no, that World Series was beautiful that they won.
Yeah.
Always will cherish that for the Rangers. But yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know what's basketball. What's their big game?
The Mavs.
What's their big game though? Like,
The big game, the
what's
NBA
their Super
Finals.
Bowl?
NBA Finals, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, which, anybody that's a Mavs fan, I know that's a big thing, is the whole Fire Nico thing right now. I'm sure you've probably heard that, or you've seen it in comment sections. But, because he traded away essentially like a guy that should have been with the Mavs for his whole career, Luka Doncic. But yeah, just, ugh.
Yeah. Well, they got to recover now from the gambling stuff, don't they? Was that even our team, or was that just basketball in
I
general?
think it was just random. I mean, I hope it was just independent actors going about things. I hope, but like that's kind of. I kind of wonder if there's going to be, because I remember when I was a kid, I always wondered why, because I go to Louisiana a lot. There's tons of gaming everywhere at gas stations, and I wondered why it wasn't more available here. It's like, but no, like you see, kind of, gosh, like I kind of wonder, like the more gambling is included in sports, like are there going to be more obvious games thrown and more rigging? Because money talks for certain people. I mean, like gosh, like we have a long history of gambling. Like what was it, the White Sox scandal? You've heard about that, where they threw a World Series.
I think I have heard about
Yes,
that.
they made a movie about it. 8 Men Out.
Is that the one I was thinking of? Did they rename it like Black Sox?
Yeah, the Black Sox scandal. Yeah,
that's what I was trying to think of earlier.
It's funny. Ironically, coincidentally, that also included the mob.
Yeah,
was involved with that as well.
That's what I thought we were talking about at the beginning. Then you were talking about the recent one. I was like, oh, you're talking about the one that happened now.
Yeah. But man, it's just little worrisome how kind of it's gotten very present in a lot of sports.
I didn't know the mob was still working like that, though.
Yeah, like I thought, it was a RICO laws and stuff. They kind of like, knocked them off and like they weren't really like around. And it's like, oh, evidently, I guess,
Yeah, I don't mean to switch topics, but like I watched, I don't say rewatch, I just watched like Casino for the first time and Goodfellas for the first time.
Nice.
And I love, it's all Scorsese, I believe, right? He directed those. So he loves those movies where the guy starts off as a nobody and then works their way up to the top of whatever organization. And then at some point in all his films, the feds step in and take everything.
Yep.
And that's kind of how the mafia was basically beat, right?
That's a really good description. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, essentially, like, because I know, like, that's the word I always hear is the RICO laws, and I don't know what all that kind of goes into, but that's kind of what debilitated a lot of them. And I mean, they're thankfully, a shell of their former selves,
sure.
but
I can't imagine being born around that time where the mafia controls everything. And it only took the Fed stepping in to kind of fix that. Because you had to get these people that weren't biased because they owned judges, they owned police, they owned everything. And it's like it had to be Uncle Sam coming in and
essentially
breaking it up because the state level wasn't doing their job because they were all in the pockets of the mafia. I can't imagine being a cop during that time where everybody's dirty. When I was in college and I was like, I want to be a policeman. I can't imagine having those aspirations in that time period when you finally get there and the guy that's training you takes a bribe in front of you and says, okay, your turn, take a bribe or we're going to kill you.
Pretty much.
I cannot picture.
I can't even imagine the pressure and just, it's scary.
Yeah. And then how long did it take to kind of flip everything when the feds came in, took out all the dirty cops, all the dirty judges? Like how long, like some people I'm sure got mixed and didn't get convicted or taken out of their position. So,
it's funny because a name that people would recognize, one of the main guys, and that's how he kind of became well known, was Rudy Giuliani. He was like the big lawyer that kind of prosecuted them. But like, I mean, I know it was like 70s and 80s was kind of when they were really kind of like cutting them at the kneecaps finally.
Had to.
But you don't hear about, those, what was it, the 4 or 5 families as much anymore. But dude, like, you think about that, like just kind of how it was with a lot of those things. And even like, what was the movie with Johnny Depp? Where
Black Mass.
Oh yeah, that one too.
Okay.
There was another criminal where he's Dillinger. What was that one with Christian Bale?
Johnny Depp, Christian Bale.
He was the bank robber.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen it.
He was John Dillinger. But essentially, yeah, like it was kind of explaining how back at that time, like a lot of our police forces were very like regionalized, and it took getting like FBI and just like a federal thing to essentially like take out some of these criminal syndicates because police forces, local and state police forces, weren't working together across state lines, and so in that sense, very thankful that those things kind of got put to bed.
They had to.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine a world where they didn't.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, Scorsese films. I accidentally opened that can of worms in my head because now I've been wanting to say this on the show for a while, but a lot of good topics have come up. I don't mean this episode, I just mean in general. Yeah. I've been watching Scorsese films for the first time, and they all have the same formula. Not a bad thing. Yeah. Because like he takes the same formula and applies it to just different aspects of crime. So you got Goodfellas. Oh, it's the mafia, and it's like a kid, usually nobody, who gets into the mafia, works his way to the top. Fed steps in, takes him out, and that's the end of the movie. Yeah. Casino, literally the same thing. Guy gets into the casino, takes it over, rises up. And there's usually some conflict between families or other people that try to, and then it doesn't matter, the feds come in, like you said, at the kneecaps, chop it down. And then you get to, say, Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah. Literally the same thing. But now we're doing the stock market. Yeah. And it's like, he's a nobody. He's like, hey, I'm good at selling people garbage. Works his way up. Yeah. Feds come in, chop him down. And then you get to The Irishman. And now Irishman's a bit different. It's the same formula, though, where he's young, gets old, but really that was just about aging and stuff like that. But not bad. I'm not criticizing his films; they're great.
Like, I never even realized that trope.
But I love that formula.
He does that, yeah.
Yeah, but
it makes sense.
I love that formula, and he knows he can just apply it to whatever he wants to do. Did you see The Irishman? Yeah,
I did. It's funny, that movie I feel like gets like very polarized reception from people, and I get why. Like, what did you think of it?
I liked it. I mean,
I liked it too.
I think people get mad when the movie's over a certain time limit. Yes. So like it's a 4-hour movie, isn't it? Yeah, and that that's going to turn off a lot of people. Yeah. I think that's probably people's biggest problem with it, but I loved it.
Oh, no, it was awesome. Loved the movie.
Made me scared to get old. I'm watching like these really young guys, and now they're all in wheelchairs. The guy can't move his arm anymore, so he's going like this. And then the dude, all his friends died, and he's just alone. I was like, oh my God. I'm like,
his daughter's not even close.
I'm like 25. I'm like, I don't want to turn 26. I don't want to get old. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I love Scorsese's films. I kind of want to watch Wolf of Wall Street again. It's just got so much nudity in it. And I was like, and you can't fast forward through it really because it is a part of the story.
Isn't that crazy? That's probably one of the few times it is, but
yeah. Because like there's all this nudity going on and all this sex stuff. Yeah. And then, but he's dropping really good exposition to emphasize a point. So it's like, shoot, how do I I usually just can't watch it.
Jonah Hill's incredible in that movie.
Yeah. Like he has a lot of range. Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because his roles before that, I don't know if you saw Police Academy, but he's just the fat guy in Police Academy. You're like, ugh, but he's got a lot of range. He's really branched out. So pretty cool stuff. I'm starting to get into more and more of his films. I can't decide if I like Goodfellas more or Casino. I can't decide, but I do like both of them a lot. I like the idea of Casino better, but I just keep thinking about Goodfellas and just like wanting to go watch that again, which I don't feel the same way about Casino.
Yeah, man, Casino. So. I mean, Goodfellas will make me like kind of have it. Man, like Casino will just like depress me, dude. Yeah. Like but it's realistic because it's based off of a real thing. Just everything with Joe Pesci and just like holy cow, man.
And at the end when he says like casinos nowadays are nothing like they used to be. Now they're just tourist attractions. And I was like, So anytime I go gamble, anytime I wanted to try to go to Vegas, like it's not like what it used to be. It's interesting. I'm just going to a tourist attraction shell of what a casino used to be, what Vegas used to be back then. Yeah. Very interesting stuff. Pretty cool. Pretty cool to think about. But actually, we are out of time. We are at an hour. Okay. Lucas, it's been really great to have you on. I appreciate you. It has been an honor. Letting us come over. I don't know. I hope you had fun today.
But I loved it.
I love this stuff, dude.
Felt like I was just chilling, just having a call from my friend, man.
I'm telling you, brother. That is the strength of our show. You might get us. This episode could get us to that precious $1 on Spotify that we've been striving so hard for.
Let's go for it, man. Then you can get a few beers for that. Go back in time for that.
That'd be awesome. Well, dude, thanks for hopping on. I guess we'll see you next time we come up here. That'd be fun.
I would love that.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time, guys.
See you.